Hello, beautiful souls. This is your energy forecast for the week of January 25th through the 31st. I'm Portia with the Soul Card Studio, and welcome to the final week of January, y'all. Oof, this year is going by fast. And let me tell you, January actually ended on a beautiful note because we have the Ace of Hearts that's guiding us this week. And you know, the Ace of Hearts is emotional renewal, new beginnings in love, also new love. So there's a lot of good things happening with this Ace of Hearts this week. And the Ace of Hearts says a new chapter of love begins. Are you ready to receive it, right? So not only will something begin, but you have to be open to receiving it. So before we dive in though, if these weekly energy forecasts brings clarity or comfort to you on a weekly basis, then please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone else who could use a little soul guidance this week. And, you know, of course, your support helps Soul Card Studio reach more beautiful hearts like yourself. So let's dive into the weekly forecast, starting with the astrology. Okay, let's talk about the cosmos for this week, because this week is actually a pretty powerful week. It's soft and subtle shift that we're feeling this week, right? Because we're still deep into Aquarius season, which is the sign of freedom and invention, higher innovation, and higher vision. That's what Aquarius brings. And then also we have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Aquarius. So it's really encouraging a fresh perspective in our lives where we're coming into like our love life, communication, and community. So the highlight of the week, though, is actually the first quarter moon in Taurus on Tuesday, January 27th. And so this moon phase is actually asking you to take steady, practical steps, right? Action towards the intentions that you set under the Capricorn new moon earlier this month. So this is actually asking you, where are you being asked to commit to what you said you wanted, right? You said you want these things, but where are you being committed to that promise and delivery of what you wanted, everything that you desired, all your intentions that you set for this year? So what practical steps and actions can you take? And this is where this moon phase comes in at with the first quarter moon on Taurus. Now, this week's moon journey, actually on Sunday, we start off in Aries. So Sunday starts off in Aries, but after I think 1 p.m. Eastern time, it actually switched to Taurus. But under this Aries moon is bold emotional energy, fresh initiative, right? Taking first action. So that's what Aries is all about. But again, the moon energy will shift later on Sunday to Taurus energy. And the highlight of the week, like I said before, will be on Tuesday, January 27th, with the first quarter moon being in Taurus. And so we're asking to build consistency and invest in what matters under this moon influence on Tuesday. Now, on Thursday and Friday, the moon actually shifts into Gemini. And so Gemini is more social, more curious, talkative, right? It's all about expressing and connecting. So you're probably feeling that energy under the Gemini moon on Thursday and Friday. But then on Saturday, the moon shifts into Cancer. And so Cancer is a more emotional type of energy, right? It's a water sign. So we're dealing with emotional reflection and grounding as the month ends. So it's appropriate, right, to end the month that way so we can reflect on everything that we've been through this month. And so this week is really about balancing action and your heart, right? So this is a heart-centered week. As I mentioned before, we have 3 planets in Aquarius this week. So it's a lot of energy to really work with. So let me know and comment below, you know, if you're feeling this energy with the moon change. So we're closing out January, the universal month two energy. So this is the month of partnership, balance, intuition. And you may have been feeling those themes during this week, during this month. But as we approach February, February is actually going to be universal month three energy. So this is going to be the month of creativity, joy, and expression, right? So February is going to be a great month. But this week, which is the last week in January, actually acts as a bridge between the two. So this week is like a bridge between feeling and creation. So here's your weekly vibration breakdown. So on Sunday, January 25th, we're under day 9 energy. So that's the completion day. So you need to be wrapping up old emotions before stepping forward into this week starting on Monday. So Monday is actually day 1 energy. So this is perfect for fresh starts, new beginnings. So act on your heart's desire on Monday. Now, on Tuesday, January 27th, remember we still have that first quarter moon in Taurus as well. And so this is going to deepen the theme of partnerships on that day. And so deepen your emotional understanding and ground your energy as well on that day, on Tuesday, which is day 2 energy. Now, moving into Wednesday, we have day 3 energy, which is expression day, creative expression. So speak your love freely on that day. And then as we move into Thursday, which is going to be day 4 energy, day 4 energy is all about structure and foundation. So this is about building something real and steady with your heart. Now, as we move into Friday, Friday is going to be day 5 energy, and that's all about freedom and expression. And so this is about trying something new in love, right? Being courageous, stepping out, being flexible, adaptable, all that good stuff in love on Friday, which is under day 5 energy. And then as we move into Saturday, well, Saturday's day 6 energy, and we're talking about harmony, right? Harmony is the theme of the day when we're talking about 6th energy. And so you may be feeling more with your family, healing yourself, or be at more emotional peace on that day on Saturday. Now, if you look at the patterns here, the pattern is actually about release, begin, connect, express, build, expand, and then balance. And so the message for this week and under numerology is love flows when you honor the rhythm between letting go and opening up. Yes, my friends, it's all about being vulnerable. And so comment below if you're feeling a little more vulnerable this week, right? If you're feeling like opening up your heart more in your relationships or to others, or being just more vulnerable and open and being more fluid this week. This Valentine's, whether you're sharing love or holding yourself close, create a moment of presence, softness, and intention. Light love in your space, in your body, and in your heart with our Divine Aligned candles. Treat yourself or someone you love. Go to soulcardstudio.com right now and get 20% off our 9-ounce large candles when you use the code LOVE1. Go to soulcardstudio.com today to get your candle 20% off. Now let's talk about the Ace of Hearts. So aces in the deck represent the initiation, the seed, the spark of something new, right? So aces are really, they translate to the number 1 if you think about it in the deck of cards. And so also look at the heart portion of it, right? So it's the Ace of Hearts. So hearts represent emotions, relationships, connections. And so that's what we're dealing with the Ace of Hearts. And so really this is all about opening yourself or reopening your heart to love, right? After a long winter, letting that warmth back in, being vulnerable, being open again to receive love. If you had a bad relationship last year, don't cut yourself off, right? This is what this card is reminding us this week. This is actually the card of emotional awakenings, right? And emotional renewal in love, new beginnings. So the Ace of Heart, it really represents new relationships and emotional chapters. And so it's all about reopening your heart to self-love, romantic renewal or creative expression, innocence and purity, and emotional expression. So it's really about being curious in love, right? Don't cut yourself off. Be more curious in love. Or why do I feel like this when someone does this? Or why do I feel this way when someone tells me this? Or just being curious about your emotions and questioning yourself on a much deeper level, because the energy is light, it's hopeful, and it's healing. And this is the first heartbeat after the transformation. So the high vibe, if you're expressing the high vibration of this card this week, then you'll be open-hearted to communication. You're going to have more open-hearted communication, emotional honesty and vulnerability. There goes that word again. Creative passion and joy, seeing the world through love. Now, if you're operating on the low vibe of this card this week, then you'll be fearing of being hurt again, right? You'll be fearful of being hurt. And love is all about taking a chance and taking that risk and being open to new love. And so, yeah, hurt is part of the game, but just know that you learn lessons through that, right? You learn lessons through the pain. And if you're operating on the shadow side again this week, you'll be avoiding emotions altogether or emotional withdrawal, or you'll be starting something new without healing the old, right? Sometimes we'll jump into new relationships without healing ourselves first. And so that's a big no-no this week. Really take time to do some self-introspection when it comes to the way that you love, the way that you want to be loved, and how you show up in your relationships, and why you feel certain ways with your partner. So the Ace of Hearts is really reminding you every new chapter of love begins with self-love first, right? Because remember that Ace is number one. And so the number one in your life should always be yourself, right? You should always put yourself first, and you should always love yourself more than you love anyone else. Because remember, once your cup overflows and you're running and you're in this mode of emotional overflow and emotional abundance, well, you'll have more love to give, right? So this week is asking you to open your heart, not just to others, but your own growth as well. And so the mantra this week is calling you to say, my heart is open. I'm ready to give and receive love freely. A new beginning begins with me. My heart is open. I am ready to give and receive love. A new beginning begins with me. So, how appropriate, how beautiful for this Ace of Hearts week. Comment below if you're feeling the self love, or what you're doing to encourage or improve your self love routine or rituals that you have for yourself this week, because this is a really good week to take care of yourself. Okay, it's time for the journal prompts of the week. As again, take a deep breath in, exhale out. Do that for about 4 repeatable cycles, and then grab your Divine Aligned journal and begin to write. Because this is heart-centered themes that we're dealing with this week, and especially with the Ace of Hearts. And so the first journal prompt is a very good one. It says, if my heart was speaking to me right now, what would it say? If my heart was speaking to me right now, what would it say? Right? So this requires some deep introspection, right? Some heart-centered, heartfelt, emotional pour out on the page. And one of the best things to do is what I call unscripted journaling, where you have the question and then you just write out, right? Just write what first comes to mind as you just write, and just keep writing, and try to time yourself. Maybe write for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever that is, or a minute, and see what happens within that time frame as you write out what you're feeling about this question, because that's the way you tap into your subconscious self. Just allow it to flow and what resonates with you as you're writing. Now, the second journal prompt of the week is, what am I ready to forgive and release before February begins? What am I ready to forgive and release before February begins? So we already know that, February has been deemed the love month, with Valentine's Day being in February. And so we want to make sure that we're going into the new month, right? And it being a number 2 month is really dealing with partnerships. So we want to go in with a clear head as we go into this next chapter, into this new month, releasing things that no longer serve us. As we're ending January, you need to leave the things that you didn't leave or let go in 2025 behind now, because we're going into this new cycle, right? Sunday is actually day 9 energy. And so, with that being said, you can complete yourself here and your journey here by releasing some things to help you transform and uplift you in February. So, just give that some thought this week as you write out this journal prompt. Okay, now it's time to celebrate this week's birthdays. Happy birthday to you if you are celebrating a birthday this week. So let's break it down. On Sunday, January 25th, if you were born on Sunday, then you are the 2 of diamonds. This is actually the business partnership card. And so you're here to be the harmonizer in your financial relationships. And so your challenge is over giving, and your gift, well, your gift is knowing your worth and making wise exchanges. Now, on Monday, happy birthday to you. If you're born on Monday, January 26th, you are the Ace of Diamonds. And so the Ace of Diamonds is the card of new financial beginnings, and you are the initiator of financial values or financial ideas. And so you are here to start something new in the material world. Money, creativity, new ideas. It's your season of fresh opportunity. Now, happy birthday to you if you're born on Tuesday, January 27th. Then you, my friend, are the King of Clubs. So this is the first King of Clubs for this year. And so you are the mastermind, right? So the King of Clubs is actually the master of information. So you're wise, visionary, and strategic, and your words happen to influence others. So lead with integrity. If you were born on Wednesday, January 28th, you are the Queen Clubs. Yay, the first Queen Clubs of the year. I'm a Queen Clubs myself, but I am born on May 20th, so I am a Taurus Queen Clubs. So welcome, right? Aquarius Queen Clubs. You are the intuitive teacher, and the Queen of Clubs, well, that's the mother of intuition card, right? And so use your intuition wisely. You are the intuitive teacher, strong-willed, insightful, and you will inspire people and others with your wisdom and your presence just alone. Your presence inspires people as a Queen of Clubs. Now, if you were born on Thursday, January 29th, happy birthday to you. You also share a birthday with Oprah. So you are the Jack of Clubs. So the Jack of Clubs is really the mental creativity card. You are the creative messenger. And so you're a brilliant communicator with endless ideas. And your challenge, well, your challenge is focus, right? You have the gift of inspiration, but you have to be able to focus that as well. And so that is really because Jacks tend to be scattered in focus. And so that's something to really hone in on. Now, if you were born on Friday, January 30th, happy birthday to you. You are the 10 of Clubs. And so the 10 of Clubs is mental success, right? And so this means that you are a thought leader. Your mind is very powerful. You have a certain way of being able to organize ideas, and you're very ambitious. So you carry the potential to teach and uplift others wherever you go. Now, if you were born on Saturday, January 31st, the last day of the month, you are the 9 of Clubs. And so the 9 of Clubs is a universal knowledge card. And so you tend to be a wise counselor. You've mastered experience because remember, 9 is the end of a cycle. The cycle is 1 through 9. And so you have mastered that at this point. And so now it's time to share, right? Share it. Share what you've mastered and release the old stories and teach from your truth. That is really your calling in life, is to teach from your truth. Now, happy birthday to all of our brilliant clubs and diamonds for this week. Hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful week celebrating your birthday. Comment below also if you are celebrating a birthday this week and the card that you are. So, in closing, the final week of January, your heart should be open, your path should be complete, and your new beginning is now. The Ace of Hearts invites you to begin again, to love courageously, to connect authentically, and to trust the process of renewal. With Aquarian energy inspiring new perspective and the Taurus full moon grounding us midweek, you're being guided to turn emotional wisdom into action, right? Guided action. And so remember, beautiful soul, love is not something that you chase. It is something that you become. So as I always say, trust the process, but more importantly, trust yourself. I'll see you next week. Take care until then.